Okay, welcome to beautiful North Devon coastline, just outside Braunton, overlooking Staunton Sands, which is a brilliant beach. It's quite busy. I think it's half term this week, so quite a lot of surfers and dog walkers out. Just out on the Honda CD185 Benly, which for anybody who's followed the channel will know that I bought it to start my Grand Challenge, which is a 2023 bit of a fun project where people go out and buy a bike for less than £1,000 or thereabouts, or already have a bike for around that price, and then just use it to go out and have some adventures on throughout 2023. Just a bit of fun really, just to remind people that, you know, you don't have to spend a fortune on a bike to have a bit of fun. So this was my bike. I bought it from a chap in Swindon over Christmas. There were a few issues with it. The fuel tank was rusted through, I think was beyond hope, so the mate Andy let me have a spare tank that he got for a CD200, which fits nicely, and then it had just got running issues with the carb. It looked like the standard carb that was on it had been played around with, messed around with, and I think the jets were fouled, so he bought a Chinese copy to bolt on, which he gave me, and it looked like there was a bit of a casting issue with that one, and it wasn't, the needle wasn't dropping fully, so all it took in the end was another Chinese carb for 16 quid, and now she seems to be running all right. I've done the points and the tappets and everything else, so I'm just coming out, maiden voyage really, proper voyage on it, put a full tank of fuel in. I've got my Insta 360 to brake, no doubt. I can't leave home without breaking something or losing something, so we'll see how we go. I'm going to take you on a little 10-minute jaunt to try and get a Woolacombe, I think, shall we? Depends if you want to stick with me that long. If I can find neutral, turn it on. Whoa. Whoa. We're gonna go. Okay, well, I think it's 4 speed, I still haven't figured it out. I just keep going up until it stops. I think we're on 4 gears. Beautiful road along here. This goes through the Croyd, which you'll see in a minute, and then on to Woolacombe. Just check that camera's on all right at the back. Hello at the back. Let's see what comes of that. Got my new Lomo gloves on. For anybody who's looking for a cheap pair of warm gloves that still give you a bit of dexterity, I just use Lomos, 15 quid, 16 quid. Pretty warm for trail riding, they're alright, do the job. So 40 mile an hour, let's whip her open. Whoa, 45. Yeah. And then if anybody who's followed the Grand Design saga with the guy who lost his wife and everything else to a project that he built on the cliff tops, this is the house just here now finished. Harry Styles was rumoured to be buying it, but I don't think he is. It's some mysterious buyer who's now rumoured to be going for it, so we'll see. 10 million that's up for. So if you could buy some gift vouchers and some Dorothy Speed Shop mugs, I might be in with a chance. So this is Croyd, beautiful surfing beach. Not that I am a surfer, but if I was, this is probably where I'd come. Very busy in the summer. Obviously it gets the old tourists who are keen to dawdle and sightsee. Yeah. I bet you never thought the CD185 Benly would be capable of overtaking. Right, this is where I clout me Insta stick on the hedge. Yep. So yeah, the whole project was really, as much for me as it was for anybody else, just a reminder that we don't have to spend a fortune on a motorbike to go out and have some fun. And the original concept came about when I was at Sweetland, the Adventure Academy over in Mid Wales, which is a great place. It's, you know, it's a #1 facility if you wanted to learn to ride off-road. The problem with it is, it goes down the avenue of needing the right bike, needing the right technique, needing the right clothing. You know, it's like a long and arduous process to just doing a bit of green laning. And as I stood there, I took my CT125 and I stood there and I watched everyone. I just thought, well, the answer really is just to buy a cheap old 125, a CG125 or an Innova, and then just go and do some lane bashing on it, because you don't need any technique, you don't need any strength, you don't need a lot of money, and you can have a great deal of fun on that. And so that's where really the Grand Challenge was born. And it kind of snowballed, and I do apologise to anybody who's joined it. I went off the boil through January. I don't know, like everyone else, I think most people, I sort of have a bit of winter blues, and I lose momentum and I lose headspace, and I have a lot of, you know, self-doubt, and you think, oh, what am I doing? Is this a good idea? Blah blah blah. And before you know it, months pass and you've done nothing. So I'm going to get going with it. I need to get the stickers out, and I need to get some dates up for people to do some group activities. But the idea really is that you just get your cheap bike, which people are doing, and go off and have a little adventure. It might only be for a day, a weekend, whatever you've got. And some people are actually going out and finding some amazing bikes, not small bikes, bandits, and what else have they got? You know, F650 Dakars for £1,000 or thereabouts. And they're obviously going to stay more to the road, but I think it's reignited, the people who are taking part, it's reignited the fondness for motorcycling as it once was, before it became saturated by money and image. But it's probably always been saturated by both, but as we get older we get more ensconced in those two ailments, money and image, and it's nice to go back to what is a motorcycle, which is just two wheels, an engine and a rider and a little bit of fun. We don't need huge amounts of power, we don't need huge amounts of kit or big ambitions of where to go. Just need two wheels and a community spirit. So I'm going to try this CD185 for the first time on a green lane to see. It's an easy green lane. I'm not even going to try and oversell it. But again, this is the whole point. So I'll bring after you. After you, you're alright. Thank you for that. Cheers. Cheers, guys. They'll be alright. So, as I was saying, this is an easy lane, but if you bring a novice rider on a Himalayan or a CRF down here, they're a little bit nervous because it's daunting. There's a lot to take in. Do I stand? What gear do I be in? What's my body position? And all the rest. And I think again this little CD185 is just nicely reminding me that with its skinny wheels to me are the best ingredients for an off-road bike. With its skinny wheels, low seat and low weight, actually it makes that an absolute doddle. And I don't know what was going wrong, no, not what was going wrong, what was going right in the 80s and that, but they actually fitted bikes with decent suspension. So a standard bike, standard road bike like a CD, will easy cope with that sort of stuff. Quite a supple setup really on the suspension. And I don't think it's got better with time. I think suspension's that area of the bike's components that's been easily cost cut to the detriment of the bike really, because nobody notices it on the spec sheet. It's hard to spot, and it's hard to spot until you start riding a bike. Oh, thanks guys, thank you, cheers, thanks. I think they were admiring glances, were they, do you think? We'll go back and view the 360. That 360 camera's been an absolute pain in the backside. I'm hoping today it redeems itself. Look at this muddy old road. Whoa, it's a bit skinny. It just had its MOT, and the guy did say that the tyres are on perish point. So what I'm going to do is, it's actually quite busy along here today, fit some of the Kenda K262s, which are the tyres that I fit to the postie bikes. I'm going to pop some of them on and see how it handles. Do the splash, yeah. So I'm just a bit cautious with it. I don't think that these tyres have got a great deal of grip left in them. Oh, probably originals. No, they won't be originals. The bike's on 15,000 miles, so we'd have had fresh tyres on. But it's been laid up for 5 or 6 years at least, and I'm not entirely sure how many miles it did prior to that. shit. This ain't gonna work. Come on, dude. Look how easy that was, eh? Bit of lock up there. Cheers, bud. Alright, I'm a nervous rider. I've not been riding long, and I'm coming up lanes like that. And I'm on my F750 GS, which I bought because I think it's a good beginner's bike. Because people have told me the 1200 is too big, so I should get a small bike. I should get an F750 GS. And I'm coming up there just then, and that van's coming towards me. I've got no confidence in turning the bike round or rolling it back. I don't know what to do. And they're the kind of predicaments which I always think, thank God I'm on a smaller bike. Because all we had to do there was put your feet down, totter it around, and away we go. So, if you are starting out your journey on a motorbike on two wheels, and the world is telling you to go for a 750 or a 600 or a 800, just remember that there's no bad thing, there's nothing lost in just buying something cheaper and smaller and building your confidence from that, rather than having the confidence knocked out of you by going too big too fast or too big too early. Sound of that, doesn't it sound pretty? Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. What power have we got? I think she's 15 horsepower. You don't feel it. I'm thinking more 12. Beautiful down here. I love this little stretch. Come on, 50 miles an hour. Whoa, 55. I am flying today. Well, I've still got the camera. Yeah, camera's still on. I don't know what release this is called, but look. Okay, just then. That's a great. Oh, one's down, too many then. Great test of a bike suspension. So that going down that hill there was all lumpy, and the bike was starting to bounce. And even on that 310 GS, that starts to kick that suspension out of shape a little bit when that starts to happen. The CRF 300 is that soft that well, it's never in shape. Like it doesn't, so it's not possible to get it out of shape. It's never in shape with that soft suspension. But it's old suspension, 20-year-old suspension, 30-year-old suspension. Just cope with that just beautifully. Brushed it off, carried the speed, kept the bike under control. Away we go. I was thinking the other day, what modern bike is equivalent, made by Honda, let's say, to this as a relatively affordable, economical, usable, small capacity commuter bike? I know we've got scooters, Forzas and things like that, and the CBS maybe, but come on Honda, we need something like this. And I do believe they build there is a Honda Meteor, a Royal Enfield Meteor Challenger out in India or somewhere like that, but they've obviously not decided to bring it into the UK. But I do think there's a real appetite now for this type of bike, whether it's classically styled or not. It's a manageable bike, modestly powered, affordable, simple technology. We only have to look at what Royal Enfield are doing sales-wise with the Meteors and the Classics and the Himalayans, and they've gone from zero to hero in 5 years and building some great bikes at great prices. That new Hunter at 3.8 is just ridiculous value. And I guess something like that's the modern interpretation of something like this. Beautiful, beautiful. pedal. Terrible back brake. Average front brake. But having ridden the CD185 so much, I'm used to having to put my feet down when I want to stop. So it's not the end of the world. You can tell them two cyclists were impressed. Oh shit me, we've got a tractor. They ain't gonna beat that one. Whoop. There's my camera. Lovely. I can hear a real clunking. I think it's the chain guard just catching on the chain. Or the chain catching on the chain guard. Okay, the end of the road just down here. Gonna turn a left. I was on a panel interview at the Ace at the bike shed in London a year or so ago with Charlie Borman, Patsy Quigg, Billy Ward, and the host Dan asked us, I don't know why I was there, I was a bit out, it's probably small fish, big pond, but they asked all these riders, you know, what's your favourite road? And Charlie would say, oh, this road in Africa, and Patsy would say, oh, this road in Portugal, and Billy would say, oh, this road in Timbuktu, wherever, I don't know. And for me, I said, for me, the best road in the world is this one, which is a road down to Woolacombe, because A, it's on my doorstep, which means I can ride it every day of the week if I wanted to. And B, it's just absolutely spectacular. But you drop down this steep, narrow road, gets a bit busy in summer, you go watch it. So you're concentrating, oh shit me. We'll get through there, won't we? Yeah, easy. Whoop, camera alright. So you've got funneling down this narrow road, and you've spotted in the distance this town, and you're like, where's that, where am I? And you're like, wow, you just see it, and it's Woolacombe, which is a beautiful little place. Lots of tourist infrastructure if you want to come on your holidays. And then you come down here and you've got the absolutely most beautiful beach. I think it's UK's best beach. And if you wanted coffee, you simply turn left here. During the summer you have to do your best to charm your way through the toll gate, so you don't have to pay to get in. And then along here, this is called Marine Drive. You've got the most spectacular beachside car park. Oh, doggy. Hello, doggy. Look at that for a view. Look out for a view. And people say to me, why did you move down to Devon? I'll show you why I moved down to Devon. That's why I moved down to Devon. Look at that. I've been around the world. I've been so many places on a motorbike, which I've really loved. I've really enjoyed. I really thought, wow, that's stunning. But have I been anywhere better? No, I don't think I have. And have I been anywhere better on a better bike? I'm not sure I have. Hello, camera. Hey, look at it. What more do you need for this to create this picture? 900 quid. That's it, 900 quid. There's a lesson for life there, isn't there, somewhere? There is a lesson to life. And I'm still learning it myself, I really am. You know, every day I chew myself to pieces trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, how I should do it. How do I get to where... How do I just stop and enjoy the world rather than pulling yourself to pieces? But it just takes moments like this where you go, oh, God, you know what, that's just, you know, how better does it get in life? A 900 quid bike that's running beautifully, ticking over like a tree, and I'd rather go and get a good coffee on a beach like this. So yeah, grand challenge, get your bike, have some fun, and hopefully I'll see you down in Devon, because I think I've got some good riding down here. Alright, I'm going to get a coffee. Take it easy. Alright, let's go green. Oh, no. Alright, let's go green lighted. God, these tyres are awful. Wow, 30 mile an hour. Beast mode. Dodge some puddles, do some puddle dodging. Whoa. I almost like not having any grip, it's quite exciting. Not sure I'd advise it, but it's exciting if that's the path you decide to go down. Traction. Traction is overrated. I wonder what it'll be like with knobbly tyres, whether it will overcome its slight sideways tendency. It's obviously going to be difficult having so much power to try and harness, control. But I'll tell you what, this bike, I've had people come down there. I use this lane a lot. This is where I like go to lane for the A2 days for people to try the 390 KTM CRF Himalayan GS310. And I've had people, quite rightly so, really tentative down here, slow because the bike's moving around and they're not used to mud and the way that a bike behaves in mud, which on a 200 kilo bike is quite noticeable. There's a lot of weight to slalom around and move around. And I think this is, again, coming back to the old point of the old grand challenge, is that if all you want to do is a bit of pottering and a bit of lane bashing, gentle stuff like this, and maybe another 1 or 2 steps higher, the best bike to do it on is a cheap old, lighter, lower bike, an old bike. Because I think most novice riders would come down here more comfortably on an old CD185 than on a brand new CRF or a brand new Himalayan or certainly a brand new KTM 390 or GS310. And so it's trying to answer that question: what's the right bike? What's the right bike? What bike shall I buy? So I want to get into green lane. I want to go out green lane. What bike do I get? I've never been off-road before. What shall I get? CD185, £900. Get used to the way tyres connect and disconnect with dirt, how suspension works, how your body works, how to brake, how to use your back brake rather than your front brake, gear changing, body position, trajectory, line, everything. There's so much going on with trail riding, and if you're trying to figure all that out while trying to manage the weight of a big bike, of which I would class the Himalayan as, and a CRF. I would even class the CRF 300 as a big bike. There's no getting away from it. It's a big old bike. Just think sometimes get yourself a cheap old CG125 and just learn dirt. Learn the language of dirt. Because the language of dirt is very difficult to different to the language of tarmac. It's a totally different beast. At which point your tyres lose traction, how much traction you can lose before you bin it, what to do to prevent underwash. And by underwash, I think that's my own invented word, but just the point at which if you lean too hard on the front tyre, it will wash out on you, and that's what causes most crashes, to be honest. People expect too much of the front tyre, and eventually it gives up and slides out. So to learn all that on a little bike like this, where you can just, oh shit, put feet down, you know what I mean, catch it on your feet, is much better than spending £5 on a swanky bike that you can't touch the floor very easy. It's just a lovely bike. It's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle. It's not a trail bike. It's not a classic bike. It's not a road bike. It's not a tour. It's not a sports bike. It's just a motorbike. A motorcycle.